What's in the box?
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. This week's project's kind of cool. A little out of the ordinary for me. Although I say that on every video, so I'm kind of curious what my ordinary is. I've seen other wood turners make a tri-cornered box, so I thought I'd try my hand at it. To everyone before me that has made one of these, thank you for your inspiration. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, hey Megan, that looks an awful lot like 3/4 inch plywood glued together. To which I reply, you are correct. I've seen several other people make bowls from plywood, and I never ever thought that I would give it a go, because I was like, okay, that's really weird. But it was actually quite cool, and quite easy to turn. Actually, let me back up a second. The wood was easy to turn. This form, not so much. If you're new to the tri-cornered bowl, which I clearly am, I can't stress enough how hyper-focused you have to be at all times when turning this, because one small misstep will cost you a digit or two. I guess with Halloween coming up, that might go with your costume. However, I truly treasure my digits, especially that middle one. So I am very cautious while turning this. Anyway, back to the video. I am just using the trusty 5/8 inch bowl gouge that I have from Thompson Tools, and I'm just rounding this out into a bowl shape. Weird, I know. All the while minding my 3 corners that are spinning around there at 1000 RPM. This camera angle sure does make it look like my arm is dangerously close to this bowl, but I assure you I was very cautious about keeping it away from the edges. And here I'm just using the Easywood Tools mid-size detailer to get rid of the tool marks. And here I'm just making the tenon to put in the chuck. And you'll notice I didn't finish the outside first. It's because when I use this particular live center, I notice a small wobble when I reverse mount it to the chuck. So I always have to go back and clean that up a little bit, so there's no sense finishing it if I have to retouch it. Alright, now we're getting to the good part. This is where things get really spooky and dangerous. A special shout out to my lamp that likes to stay exactly where I put it. In this scene, I am just marking the thickness that I want the bowl to be. I thought that maybe I could see this turning around, but I couldn't, so it was just kind of winging it at this point. Getting down to just about the final thickness. Now I've established the thickness that I want, so I'm putting some blue tape on here so I know not to go any further. Also helps me see the corners so I don't accidentally hurt myself. I felt like hollowing this out was taking forever, so I switched over to the Easywood Tools #1 hollower. Just while I'm doing the inner part of the bowl so that I could take some more meat out a little quicker. I still use the 5/8 inch bowl gouge to do the outer part of the inner part, if you will, as I feel like I have a little more control over the tool when going down the side of the rim. I'm just continuing to alternate between the bowl gouge and the hollower, taking the remainder of the inside of the bowl out. Just checking for uniform thickness down the side. And then touching up a few high spots. One final pass with the bowl gouge. One final pass with the hollower, and then the camera magically cuts out again, and then we're off to the finishing. A lot of real boring hand sanding happened on this bowl, as you can imagine, so I cut quite a bit of that out. I do have to admit though, with this just being a plywood bowl, it was pretty fun to see it transform into something that's not really plywoody, if that makes sense. And then some denatured alcohol, and then I noticed that there was a small little weird spot, so I had to fix that. Some Mylands Cellulose sanding sealer. And then I decided to go with the Acks abrasive paste for this bowl. You'll notice how careful I'm being with the paper towels while this is spinning, because if one of those corners grabs, that thing is launching into high heaven, and I don't want my fingers going with it. And then I'm using the Acks polishing / restoring paste to give her a shine. Who'da thunk a little piece of plywood looking so pretty? And now I'm just using the parting tool to part it off of the lathe. Off camera, I did the same finishing steps as I do for the rest of the bowls in the bottom of it. And there you have it. One tri-corner, 3/4 inch plywood bowl. Not because I'm biased or anything, but I think it turned out pretty snazzy for what it is. Also, this isn't too bad of plywood from the big box store. Well, gang, thank you so much again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this week's project, because I sure had a lot of fun making it. To my subscribers, thank you very much. Those of you who haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Please like and comment below. Stay awesome, everyone. Love to all.